Compact fluorescent lamps, or CFLs for short, started hitting the market in the early portion of the 1990s. Their goal and purpose is to provide light using less energy. The competition, incandescent bulbs. They've been on the market for a long time and have proven themselves as a reliable source of light. Are CFLs the answer? Who knows? Hopefully this video will inform you about CFLs' positives, negatives, benefits, usage, and even the recycling that is involved with these bulbs. What does the future hold for our planet? Are these bulbs the answer to all our problems? They have revolutionized the green industry. CFLs are composed of two main parts: the gas-filled tuber bulb and the magnetic or electronic ballast. An electrical current from the ballast flows through the gas, which is mercury vapor, causing it to emit ultraviolet light. The ultraviolet light then excites a phosphor coating on the inside of the tube. This coating emits visible light. Integrated compact fluorescent lamps combine a tube, an electronic ballast, and an Edison screw or a bayonet fitting on a single CFL unit. These lamps allow consumers to replace incandescent bulbs easily with CFLs. Integrated CFLs work well in many standard incandescent light fixtures, which lowers the cost of CFL conversion. Non-integrated CFLs have an external ballast where the bulb can be replaced at the end of its life instead of the whole ballast, which can be more expensive. CFLs have their positives and negatives. They claim they could save electricity and are the future for the lighting industry because of their benefits. According to Lester Brown, replacing insufficient incandescent light bulbs with new CFLs can reduce electricity use by 3/4. He also goes on to say that over its lifetime, a standard 13-watt CFL will reduce electricity bills by $30, even though they cost twice as much and they last 10 times as long. CFLs are also known to produce less heat and provide more light per watt. The lifespan for a CFL can range from 6,000 hours to 15,000 hours. Consumers have claimed that lights have been faulty and that they do not last as long as they should. The lifetime of any lamp depends on many factors, including operating voltage, manufacturing defects, exposure to voltage spikes, mechanical shock, and even frequency of cycling on and off. The life cycle is significantly shorter if it's turned on and off. In the case of a 5-minute on-off cycle, the lifespan of a CFL can be 85% shorter, reducing its lifespan to close to that of an incandescent light bulb. The U.S. Energy Star program suggests that fluorescent lamps be left on when leaving a room for less than 15 minutes to mitigate this problem. According to Energy Star, if every home in America replaced just one incandescent light bulb with an Energy Star qualified CFL, in 1 year it could save enough energy to light more than 3 million homes. That would prevent the release of greenhouse gas emissions equal to that of about 800,000 vehicles. Incandescent lamps have fewer advantages over CFLs. The color rendition of incandescent lamps is superior to CFLs, even though it has greatly improved over the years. Incandescents also project light further. This makes it appropriate for some applications, such as lighting in high ceilings. CFLs can benefit from these locations as well because they don't need to replace as often. There is somewhat to a drawback to the change in incandescents to CFLs: the money. Incandescents are much cheaper than CFLs. According to the U.S. Department of Energy, the average cost of a 25-watt compact CFL is $3.40, comparable to the average cost of a 100-watt incandescent, which is 60 cents. The annual energy cost for the CFL is $6 and incandescent is $25. With the life cycle of CFL is much longer at 4.5 years, which makes the consumer save money in the long haul if the switch is made. Green Nature website says that most CFLs cost between $4 and $15, below what the U.S. Department of Energy thinks the average price is, most likely leading to why so many consumers do not purchase these bulbs. They are appealing to a higher end clientele, and if the price continues to drop, a rise in usage surely will occur. Energy Star, a program started by the U.S. government in 1992, is an international standard for energy-efficient consumer products. Backed by the U.S. EPA and the Department of Energy, they have some pull in the CFL market. They qualify companies who make the CFLs, and they can put a label on the package showing that this product uses less energy than a standard bulb. The Energy Star website has information on choosing CFLs for different applications. CFLs come in many different shapes and sizes and all different kinds of applications. Integrated CFLs and non-integrated CFLs are the two main types. The integrated version is the most common household type, usually with a screw base. Non-integrated CFLs have an external ballast. It can be very pricey if it needs to be replaced, though. The lifespan of the bulb makes it cheaper in the long run. Some of the drawbacks to CFL is many different shapes and sizes are that different bulbs needed for different applications. Standard bulbs cannot always be used indoor or outdoor, and special CFLs are needed if you have dimmers. Using a CFL for the wrong application will cause the lamp to fail far before its intended lifetime. Special applications are also needed for outdoor use, where the lights are subjected to cold temperatures. because some of the valves do not provide sufficient energy to the tube to heat the gas enough to illuminate the lamp. That's part of the drawback to the CFL, the mercury-filled tube. Broken bulbs have raised some questions of the environmental impact of CFLs. If the bulb breaks, it will release a small amount of mercury. Energy Star says that the release is small enough where it's not an issue, but it is still leaking a toxic chemical into the environment and possibly putting people at risk. That is another reason why there are skeptics about CFLs and there are that think they're doing more harm than good. North Dakota State University and the EPA say that if a bulb is broken in an average-sized room and vaporizes immediately, the vapor will not be in the room long enough to cause any damage, and the amount is below federal standards for mercury in a standard room. What about when they are in landfills, you might ask? What about that mercury? Energy Star says that the leading cause of mercury emission in the U.S. is coal-fired power plants. The incandescent bulbs are still worse than CFLs, comparable to the amount of mercury that would be released from the bulb and the amount needed for its use. Energy Star also says that the total milligrams of mercury released from burned coal for an incandescent for its lifetime is 5.8 milligrams of mercury, and for the CFL it's only 1.8 milligrams of mercury, including the bulb being in the landfill. There's no need to worry about the amount of mercury inside the bulb because it is sealed in glass so the vapor cannot escape. Surprising or not, many households have much more mercury than a CFL. Thermostats, thermometers, and even watch betters have more mercury in them than a CFL. Older thermometers have as much as 500 milligrams of mercury, or as many as 125 CFLs. Mercury is an essential part of CFLs, and without it they would not be able to produce light. No mercury is released during the use of a lamp. Only if the lamp is broken will the mercury escape. A big part of controlling the mercury problem is recycling the used light bulb. Consumers need to check with local authorities on what to do with a broken bulb. The U.S. EPA says it is okay to send them to the landfill if local authorities permit, but they should be put in 2 plastic bags and sealed. Energy Star also says that Energy Star certified bulbs have a 2-year replacement warranty to cover any manufacturer defects that may have occurred. Next time, save your receipts so you can replace all those bulbs that probably failed. Consumer reviews on Popular Mechanics website are filled with rants about how bad CFLs are because they fail so often. One Reddit wrote that 4 of 24 of his 13-watt CFLs were still working after 6 months. The Reddit also said he contacted GE about this problem and they could not resolve any of this as for why they were failing. Success rates could possibly be another factor to the success of its current status. CFL has had a pretty big impact around the world. According to Lester Brown, we might have reached a political tipping point. Australia said it would phase out incandescents by 2010. Canada said they will by 2012, and the EU approved the phase out of incandescent bulbs in 2009. Half of Brazil's CFLs because of lack of power supply. China leads the world in CFL production with 85%. In 2006, they produced 2.4 billion units, and they're planning to phase out incandescents within a decade. India is planning to phase out them by 2012 as well. Countries, they're not the only ones that made the jump on the bandwagon. Walmart, this global powerhouse, began an intense marketing campaign in 2007. They wanted to raise sales of CFLs to 260 million. Where is the U.S.? Why can't we make claims like this? Well, Brown estimates that 1/4 of American light sockets have CFLs. CFLs are on their way in, their benefits outweigh the cons, and the incandescents are just not cutting it. The world is at an unstable state. Every little thing we can do to help, we need to do, not just talk about it. Anyone can say they're going to do something and making a difference, but until they actually do something, make a difference, put forth the effort, nothing will change. We will continue to struggle on the slippery slope. What does the future have in store? CFLs are definitely a positive, but the next great thing that is being used in lighting is LEDs, or light-emitting diodes. They use even less energy than CFLs and have many other benefits, but that is for another day.